So hey everyone, I wish Coinbase replied to this to us. And good morning everyone who expect the people who make fun of mental health. Mental health is important, everyone. Stay safe out there. Thank you so much for dropping a like on this video. But good morning eToro, any progress on ships? And they replied, yes. And as we saw it, it's already up, and that's another exchange in the works. And I simply love this. I don't think Shiba Inu will ever die. People are saying the price is dropping. Of course, the price is dropping. It's a downtrend market and we're not in an altcoin season. But one thing, an important factor that nobody's talking about, that Shiba is in both Dogecoin simply do not have that hype attention anymore. Does that mean, that Shiba Inu will never reach at its highest? No, Shiba Inu will have a lot of utility in the future, and we're going to be looking at a lot of things today, so that's really exciting. eToro will be fully honest and transparent with us, but checking over here, we already have, proof that there's not a lot of whales out there. 94% is in Shiba Swap, so vast majority is owned by the people, not whales. We couldn't get an exact estimate of how much is there, but for all the bone right now, there's only one whale holding 1%, and of course, we're going to be seeing what Binance does with its bone. I doubt they'll sell it. They probably have the voting power to decide what happens next for Shiba Inu. But if we check over here, we can see the community still owns most of the coins here, and there's a lot of shrimps, there's a lot of lobsters, and for bone we do see some whales over here, but still, then again, most of them is by the smaller fish. There's no actual whales. While, for leash, though, we do have some bigger whales, however. So this is really important to understand. The top holder of SHIB are not the devs, so there's no rug pulls. And we can see, there's humpback whales, there's normal whales, there's sharks. I saw this before, but now it's an updated version. So I posted it and asked everyone, are you either a lobster, octopus, you're holding different amounts? So here's something to know from the Shiba mod. The top holders of the SHIB are not devs. There are major exchanges that bought it at the market price. And the top holder on Bone is the dev team. They logged their percentage in a 6ix9ine multi-signature wallet with a 24-hour public withdrawal alert, which will be used after approval of the community by majority vote. The percentage is for future projects such as SHIB's own blockchain and marketing. Much need. So we need that. Once they spend on marketing, and when they have SHIB out there, the rest, including leash devs, purchased at the market price like everyone else. The dev team did not get extra tokens like the other projects out there. So this is purely a community project. Everything is disclaimed on both white paper V1 and V2, and we can see here, because a lot of people think there's going to be a rug pull. There's no rug pull. Much of the FUD is impatience and blind people who don't like to read and love to get information served instead of doing their own research. At this point, if you're a FUDder, you're not a holder, and that is a bottom line. And we see leash dropping. Now, the prices might be different today as you see this video, but leash will probably have its own utility, as it had a peak of about $8,000, and it's only $1,000 right now, as it's not that much popular as Shiba Inu and Bone. But if we check Bone, Bone is not doing that bad. So we are seeing a lot of things. I just quit my job at McDonald's. Crypto is finally back, everyone. We're super excited for this one. But let's look at the real things. We will have social events in the future which bring the hype back up. This was already over, but if we can find such big collaborations as this, the most important factor is here that I'm seeing, a lot of things happening for Shiba Inu project, and a lot of people will join in at a later date. So we're super early into this one. We're going to be having much bigger projects. But if we check over here and you wonder why I booked the Gareth Ermi, top DJ in the world, not the one posting memes. I'm just saying SHIB Army. And, these are some big collaborations for Shiba Inu. We're having those big events. I missed the event, haven't been posting and keeping up for the last week or so. I'm a big SHIB holder and supporter. Haven't taken a SHIB out. We lost my sister. Bad things are happening. We're staying together. Give me strength. So if we check over here, there's still a lot of projects out there, like the Shiba Inu Cafe. I saw a Shiba Inu Casino, a TV. There's going to be so much more in the works. I invested $5 in SHIB 30 minutes ago and should have been a millionaire by now. Shiba Swap is a scam, I guess. And a lot of people were like that. You know, we're only 3 months in and we already saw Shiba Swap being out. We saw so many updates. We saw so many new exchanges, you know, from the Coinbase announcement to eToro to everything you can think of, you know, to accusations of being a rug pull, to accusations of being the devs are scammers. And we have to stay patient right now. You know, a lot of us want a lot less than Lambos. A lot of us will sell less than at 1 cent, but we're all holding and we're all in this together for a long run. And we're finally becoming a community slowly but surely. I do think Shiba Inu will be around here a year from now or 2 years around. As long as Dogecoin and Shiba Inu meme coins exist, they will have a place in the community. There's always demand for meme coins. Now, record 57.5K Bitcoin leave exchanges in 1 day. You know, dropping Bitcoin reserves to pre-crash levels. So 57,000 Bitcoin leaves exchanges in a single day as demands return with Bitcoin at the upper end in its multi-month trading corridor. So what we can see here is a lot of things happening. You know, exchange balances shed 57,000, and this basically means that the demand for Bitcoin is getting higher and higher. Amid concerns over the strength of this week's rally, data on Thursday nonetheless pointed to genuine demand for Bitcoin at higher prices. And look at this. We never saw this kind of demand before, but a lot of it is leaving exchanges and it's growing the price. Now, shared by Bybit and CryptoQuant, data appear to show the largest day on outflow in at least a year. A total of 57,000 Bitcoin left exchanges in 24 hours, and it seems like one of the institutions is buying all the Bitcoin now. You know, they thought they could get it at 20,000, but they were wrong. We're not selling to 20,000, and they just decided, well, heck, we're going to be selling it we're going to be buying all in at 30,000. So here you have it. With that exchange, balances return to the levels last seen in mid-May. So we're finally seeing, you know, the more positive trends going back in just before a major price correction after Bitcoin began reversing from its all-time highs of 64,500. In search of a solid support despite the demand, however, market participants remain convinced of the need for higher low construction on Bitcoin USD before any higher levels could fall. I think market needs to go down to put in HL before continuing it. So firstly, we need to see a market drop before we can see Bitcoin hit 60,000. But now 60,000 is more possible than 20,000. To put it simply, been bullish from 30,000 into resistance. But today, for me, signals need to go down for a higher low. So if we see a big drop, that means we're going to be seeing probably 64,000 if the inflation continues. I know I'm talking a bit weird right now, but what I'm trying to say, we're all optimistic on a Bitcoin rally. An allusion to the start of this year's bullish progress comes as 40,000 refuses to go quietly as the resistance. You know, we're still keeping it strong. The most important factor is 20,000 is now less likely, while 60,000 is more likely. And that's beautiful, you know, for SHIB. That's some great news. This Friday, meanwhile, sees the end of month expiry, even for Bitcoin options, something that, at least in theory, allows for release of potential selling pressure thereafter. So it seems like we could be having a big rally pretty much soon. Could we be returning back to SHIB at its highest? As long as there are updates, as long as there is going to be demand for meme coins, which there still are, just not as much as before, we will be seeing Shiba Inu's price rebound. Especially if we get, you know, some crucial updates that will offer some utility, or basically will offer something like a community that you cannot get anywhere else, that you cannot get at Ethereum, that you cannot get at Bitcoin. That's when people will be buying in. So for example, imagine if Shiba Inu was the only coin that partnered up with McDonald's, the only cryptocurrency coin. Now, the chances of that right now happening are very unlikely, but in the future, you know, it could happen for some bigger brand or for some smaller brand like a pizza restaurant. And, you know, for people to purchase pizza, either they will have to use crypto or they will have to use fiat. And that will increase the volume once again from what we're seeing. So only when a clear break occurs, then we can safely say the Bitcoin trend has reversed. Order book data from major exchanges, Binance highlighted a high resistance band concentration in the area above 41,000. And this Friday, meanwhile, sees the end of month expiry even for Bitcoin options, something that at least in history allows for a release of potential selling pressure thereafter. So here we see US-Japan digital trade deal should include crypto, Americans think tank. And an analyst at Rand Corporation says crypto as a part of bilateral digital trade could lay the groundwork for cryptocurrency adoption in international trade. So we gotta see Bitcoin stepping in these huge official deals. Even if they just quickly include it, that would be huge. Almost 10% of the country's gross domestic product is, in there. By adopting either measure, the analyst stated that such a move could set a precedent for clear-cut adoption of crypto and blockchain technology. The advent of central bank digital currencies, especially regional CBDCs, is a part of conversation around digital currencies in the cross-border trade. So this would be huge, a Japan collaboration and US collaboration involving crypto. The role of crypto, digital currencies, and blockchain technology in international trade is becoming a focal point for industry stakeholders. Back in March, US investment bank Citigroup stated that Bitcoin was a tipping point in international trade. So Bitcoin could be used in trading. Imagine. Mainstream adoption is with Bitcoin's grasp, according to Citi analysts. So things are now finally becoming to wind up, as a Bone will go to $1. I'm gonna be going all in on Bone as it drops, to $1. Obviously, we still have a lot to mint it. I think, it will be around for at least a year, but Bone has huge levels of hype as well now. So here we can see a lot more things in the works, as there's going to be only more and more holders coming in, such as a snowball effect. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace everyone.